Prince William made one decision that sent a clear warning through Queen Camilla's family. The arrangement that had survived for nearly 2 decades under King Charles ended when William took control of the Duchy of Cornwall. There was no dramatic announcement, public confrontation, or palace statement. Annabel Elliot, Camilla's sister, was simply no longer retained in the influential interior design role she had held during Charles's years as Prince of Wales. For years, Annabel worked on a private estate worth hundreds of millions of pounds. She became Charles's trusted interior designer, helping shape important residences and buildings across the estate. Supporters described her as experienced. Critics saw the sister of Charles's longtime partner receiving prestigious work from an institution controlled by him. The British press rarely challenged the arrangement. Camilla was protected by Charles's loyalty, and few inside royal circles wanted to question it. But William did not treat it as permanent. Once he became Prince of Wales and inherited control of the duchy, the agreement ended. The message was unmistakable. What Charles allowed would not automatically survive under William. Camilla did not respond publicly, and the palace offered no emotional explanation. Yet royal observers understood the significance. Annabel Elliot had spent years building a professional reputation linked to royal patronage. William cut that connection with one administrative decision. For Camilla, it was a warning that her family would not be guaranteed access, income, influence, or ceremonial importance once William became the central authority inside the monarchy. The timing made it even more serious. King Charles was undergoing cancer treatment. His health forced the royal family to confront questions that once seemed distant. William's reign was no longer an abstract idea for another generation. Every decision he made was being studied as a preview of the monarchy he intended to build. William was still a teenager when the marriage between Charles and Diana collapsed. He was only 15 when his mother died in a Paris tunnel. Camilla represented the relationship that had helped destroy his parents' marriage. Whatever reconciliation came later, that history did not disappear. Royal writers have described William and Harry as deeply loyal to Diana. They did not easily accept Camilla as a mother figure and were never known to share a close emotional bond with her. According to accounts cited in the original report, the brothers used mocking names for Camilla during their teenage years, including Lady Macbeth, Cruella de Vil, and the Wicked Witch of the West. Over time, William learned to work with her. Royal duty required cooperation, and both became sources of support for their spouses during cancer treatment. Some commentators suggested that William respected Camilla's discipline and sense of duty. They appeared together at major events and maintained the image of a united family. The relationship reportedly improved because William and Camilla shared concerns about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. For a period, that common problem gave them a reason to coordinate. Yet the old tensions never fully disappeared. Once the conflict began affecting Catherine Williams' position, hardened again. Reports emerging in late 2025 described growing tension between Camilla and the Princess of Wales. Publicly, both women continued smiling at ceremonies and standing together during official occasions. Privately, sources claimed the atmosphere had become uncomfortable. Camilla was said to be irritated by the belief that William and Catherine could do no wrong. Catherine's popularity, public sympathy during illness, and importance to the future monarchy gave her enormous attention. According to the report, Camilla was naturally territorial and did not appreciate being overshadowed by the younger couple. The situation allegedly became worse during a royal event when Camilla showed visible frustration toward Catherine. A source claimed that she pushed Catherine aside and spoke sharply to her in public. Whether intentional or misunderstood, the effect on William was said to be immediate. William could tolerate a complicated relationship with his stepmother. He could not tolerate disrespect toward his wife. Catherine is not only William's spouse. She is the future queen, the mother of Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, and one of the most popular members of the royal family. William's instinct to protect her is especially strong after the pressure she faced during her health crisis. The tension appeared again during a state visit. Catherine followed protocol and curtsied to Camilla. William, however, was reported to have greeted Camilla with 2 light kisses on the cheek while avoiding more formal gestures. At the same time, another figure from her past returned to public attention. Andrew Parker. Bowles, Camilla's former husband, remained connected to the monarchy long after their divorce. By early 2026, Andrew Parker Bowles was 86 years old. He was a retired British Army officer with the rank of brigadier and maintained close ties to royal circles, especially Princess Anne. Their friendship stretched back decades. In 1981, Anne chose him as godfather to her daughter Zara Tindall. That connection survived his divorce from Camilla in 1995. It survived Camilla's marriage to Charles and her transformation from one of the most criticized women in Britain into queen. In early 2026, Andrew Parker Bowles appeared in the news when he attended a memorial service for Field Marshal Lord Guthrie as Princess Anne's representative. His presence reminded the public that Camilla's history could never be fully separated from the current monarchy. Princess Anne is one of the hardest-working and most respected members of the royal family. William values her judgment and reliability. Yet, one of Anne's oldest allies is Camilla's first husband. That creates an unusual network of loyalty. The past is still present in friendships, military ties, family ceremonies, and public appearances. Then came the property move. In late February 2026, reports claimed that Camilla had taken major legal steps involving Ray Mill House, the private estate she bought in 1996 for £850,000 after separating from Andrew Parker Bowles. The property had long served as her personal refuge, away from royal schedules, palace rules, and public attention. According to the report, the estate was placed under arrangements connected to her children, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes. Laura's husband, Harry Lopes, and financier Jake Irwin were also named in connection with the transfer or management structure. On the surface, this could be ordinary estate planning. Camilla was 78. Charles was 77 and receiving cancer treatment. Many families reorganize property ownership as parents grow older. There is nothing unusual about preparing legal documents or placing assets under the control of children and trusted representatives. Ray Mill House was more than an investment. It was Camilla's independent home. When she married Charles, she reportedly kept it as a private sanctuary. She valued the gardens and described gardening as the best therapy in the world. She grew vegetables and maintained a space that belonged to her rather than to the crown. Reports also suggested that Camilla would not automatically receive royal lodge if Prince Andrew eventually left the property. If Charles died before her Ray Mill House could become her main residence, it would offer security at a moment when William became king and her position changed overnight. That is why the legal transfer attracted attention. By placing control of the property closer to her children, Camilla appeared to protect it from future royal pressure. A king can change public roles funding, residences tied to the crown, and ceremonial access. He cannot easily control a private estate legally secured for a family. It suggested that Camilla understood what William's rise could mean. She had watched him end Annabel Elliot's duchy rule. She had seen his loyalty to Catherine. She knew his concerns about Charles's workload. She could also see that the future king wanted a smaller and more disciplined monarchy. William's anger was not limited to old family wounds. He was reportedly frustrated by the way Charles continued working during cancer treatment. William wanted his father to slow down, protect his health, and step back when necessary. Sources claimed that he believed Camilla was too focused on preserving her position and maintaining the image of normal royal activity. From William's perspective, the issue was simple. The king's health came first. He reportedly disliked the argument that Charles had to keep working intensely to prove the monarchy remained strong. If Camilla supported that approach, the conflict was therefore not only about Catherine Diana or family privilege. It was also about who had the right to influence a sick king. William could no longer ignore Camilla's decisions merely because they both disagreed with Harry and Meghan. A shared opponent was not enough. Once William believed Camilla's priorities were harming Charles or challenging Catherine, the alliance weakened. Royal commentator Christopher Anderson suggested that William tolerated his stepmother and that Camilla might even be a little afraid of him. That description fits the power shift taking place. Under Charles, Camilla is queen and his closest partner. Under William, she would become the widow of the previous king, dependent on the new monarch for any continuing public role. Camilla does not receive a completely separate annual payment independent of the institution. Her official work is supported through royal funding, including the sovereign grant. When William becomes king, the monarchy's priorities, staffing engagements, and financial structure will ultimately answer to him. That does not mean Camilla would lose everything. She could still attend selected ceremonies, support charities, and appear at major national events. But those appearances would occur with William's approval. She would no longer stand at the center of royal power. William's broader vision wants a streamlined monarchy with fewer senior royals on the public payroll. He wants stricter rules about who benefits from royal connections. He does not appear interested in preserving informal privileges simply because Charles once approved them. Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes have never been working members of the royal family. They do not carry out official engagements on behalf of the crown. Yet their closeness to the king and queen has brought social influence and access. Under William, even those indirect advantages may become smaller. Annabel Elliot's removal was therefore not an isolated business decision. It was a model. William showed that family connection would not guarantee a contract. A relationship with Camilla would not guarantee a role. The new system would be based on William's judgment, not Charles's loyalties. For decades, she fought to rebuild her public image. She survived hostility over the affair that helped end Charles and Diana's marriage. She faced negative headlines and resistance from William and Harry. Slowly, she became more accepted. She married Charles, supported him as Prince of Wales, became Queen Consort, and was crowned beside him. Yet the boy who lost his mother at 15 is now preparing to become king. He has not forgotten how the family changed. He has not forgotten the pain surrounding Diana. He has not forgotten the people who benefited from Charles's protection, and he is no longer powerless. Reports have suggested that William is having second thoughts about the freedom Camilla has been given and the scale of her future role. The exact meaning remains unclear. There is no confirmed public plan announcing that she will be excluded from royal life. But William's actions already reveal a direction. He ended the duchy arrangement involving her sister. He reportedly challenged her influence over Charles's workload. He reacted strongly when Catherine appeared to be disrespected. He used protocol to signal distance. Meanwhile, Camilla reorganized control of the one property most likely to protect her independence after Charles. The palace will continue to present unity. There will be state banquets, formal photographs, coordinated appearances, and carefully managed smiles. That is how the monarchy protects stability. Public harmony does not require private trust. Behind the scenes, a generational transfer is underway. Charles built his life around Camilla and protected the people close to her. William is building a different structure. His monarchy will be smaller, less forgiving of family privilege, and more protective of Catherine and their children. For Camilla Ray Mill House may be the most important symbol of that future. It is her refuge, her private asset, and possibly her home after Charles. By securing it for her children, she has prepared for a world in which William controls the palace, but not her personal sanctuary. The conflict has not produced a public explosion. There has been no open accusation and no official break. But the pattern is clear. Jobs have ended. Property has changed hands. Protocol has shifted. Loyalties are being tested. The monarchy is approaching a point when Charles's choices will no longer determine the future. William's rules will. And when that moment arrives, Camilla may discover that becoming queen was not the final victory. The greater challenge will be deciding how much of that life she can keep once the crown passes to the stepson who remembers everything.